Lawrence, here we are at Park Hall. You're about to do a training session with TNS Ladies. You turn up, you just kick a ball about for a couple of hours and that's it? Or is there something more involved than that?
It sounds just like that, Stu, if I'm honest, but no, we're planning to train, we look at the game, we go analyse it between me and my coaches, between me, Sam, Tom and George, and we think, what do we need to improve on from the weekend's performance? What do we do well? And we try and devise a plan from that really, and we'll speak on Monday, Tuesday and go over it and agree, and we'll go, right, we'll do this, we'll do that, so and so do this, we'll work on that together, and we'll speak to certain players and little individual things we need to think that they need to improve on that from that game. And then sometimes obviously we have our games filmed now by a girl called Nicola who does it voluntary, which is really nice of her, and she comes and helps, and I'll sit and analyse that, and I'll point out things to players and show them this is what we need to do, so, which is something we've sort of bought in the last since Christmas, just before Christmas. So that's what training goes into, and tonight it's the same as usual. We've sat down and a plan, and we go from there. When we get on the pitch, we have a 2-hour full sesh out there, mate, till 10, and so we got a good turnout tonight as well, which is good. But then again, I get a good turnout near enough every week.
And as you said, Lawrence, a couple of hours on the pitch, but a lot more time than that involved in the preparation.
It is, I think on a Sunday after the game, I'll sort of have a sit down and try and sort of not plan as such already, but we'll have a chat in the car because we're all going in the same car, me and the coaches. We'll have a chat on the way back, try and analyse the game. And then Sunday night, I do all the paperwork for the league, and I'll do it on Monday as well. And I'll start planning it sort of Monday night when I get in. And then over Tuesday, we'll keep bouncing off ideas, and when we go, right, that's sorted for Wednesday, like, bang, done. We can then sort of switch off and I can flip over to Wem at the sort of time because we have training as well for Wem that I'm there, so I try and balance between the two.
Have you ever wondered how many hours you do, or are you too scared to sit down and work it out because it might be frightening?
I think, let's put it this way, it's like a second job. For me, that's how many hours I put in. The same as my main job, I'd probably say, if I worked it out with travelling and planning and preparation for game day, for training, for getting players availability a lot. I think it is a second job. In my eyes, it is. But I enjoy it at the same time, so I can't knock it. I think everyone has their good days, bad days, like I do in a normal job. But it's hands down, I wouldn't change it for what I do. And I'll get back late. I'll get after 11:30. I'll get home tonight easy. Maybe touching 12, and I know my coaches like to travel further. But it's one of them. I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it for the girls and stuff like that. I want the best for them. I want the best for the team and the whole club.
Well, it's certainly a labour of love, and your work is very much appreciated, Lawrence, and certainly from my own angle, watching on and interviewing you from time to time and being involved in that aspect of what you do with the ladies. I appreciate what you're involved with and the work and the effort that goes in. And part of this interview is to also speak to those perhaps who are thinking of getting involved in coaching themselves, not necessarily in the ladies' game, but maybe the men's game as well. And it does involve commitment, dedication, and above all, you have to have that call. You can't do it just because you wake up one day and think to yourself, I fancy doing a bit of coaching. It has to be something that almost like blood running through your veins.
Yeah, I give blood, sweat and tears, everything to it. It's what I want to do. It's hard work, and I have a goal where I want to set myself for a football manager, and I'm on my way to it. I'm on my journey. It might take a while to get there, but I've got to put the hard work in now and the dedication to do it, and I know what I want out from it. And like you said, all the hours and everything, it's really tough. But like I said, the enjoyment for me, I think you've got to, if you're a coach, you've got to find something you enjoy. And I've been coaching since I was 16, 17, so it's a good 8 years now. And I was running, under 15s teams when I was 17. So it takes a lot, and your weekends are full. Obviously, with 2 teams, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. For me, my weekend's gone. And the amount of travelling I do, I was in Evesham on Saturday, and I'm travelling, I could be on a Sunday with the girls, I could be, I could be in Doncaster, something like that. So I do some miles, but I do it because I enjoy it. I think coaches out there, if they got the passion, the drive, and everything, and determination, if you want it, go and get it. Get involved with a local team if you're around here. Get in touch with us on Twitter and social media, and we're always looking for coaches. For our 12s, our 14s, our 15s, our 16s, our reserve team, our first team as well. It doesn't have to be coaching. It could be, want to come an analysis, or come and help with the social media side, or want to come out with the video analysis side. Come and help Nicola. She's a one woman army, should I say? But we're all one team, and I'll speak with all the coaches, and I want to try and get the best, like I said, for the club and what I want for the ladies and the girls section. So if anyone's out there and wants to get a TV, if you haven't got your badges but you have a passion and you want to learn and develop, and we've had a couple of people like that that want to, they enjoy football but they want to learn how to coach, and we can bring them in and we can bed them in and we show them, like, this is what we do, and there might be another team that see what that does and put it all together and get the knowledge that way.
I mean, a lot of people think that you become a coach after you've played football, you've hung up your boots and you've retired. But as you said there, Lawrence, you got involved with coaching as a teenager.
Yes, it's something that I had a passion for. I started really coaching at 14, doing tennis coaching, but football's been a big passion for me, coaching-wise. But like I said, there are a few other sports, coaching, badminton and tennis I do as well. But football for me is my main one. That's what I get a real thrill out of. And starting young, I've never played at high level, but I watch enough football, I know about the game and that's why I want to step into coaching, to try and develop it more and work on it. And I think I have. I'm only 24 now. I'm quite a young manager, to be honest, compared to everyone else. I'm probably the youngest one in this league. So it's all about learning. You never stop learning, and that's what I've found for me. Obviously, when I've worked with different people. Obviously, I've worked with Andy here before, learning off a lot of him was a big eye-opener for me, like we've spoke before. But I'm always keep developing and getting new ideas, and how can we make the girls and the ladies better? What can we do on a game day to make it better and more for them, to get the best out of them, because that's the best you can do. But like I said, if you start young, you can look at it and go, right, this is what I can do. But you've got to, like I said before, you've got to be determined and know what you want.
We will talk about TNS Ladies to conclude our little chat this evening, but you're also involved in the men's game as well. At when?
Yeah, so been in the men's game for a while, a few different teams in the West Midlands League, and the last team before was at Bilston, which is not far from me, and we've spoken on the radio and stuff like that about different teams, and then I had a bit of time away. I think I needed a break. I think for the last few years I've had my weekends been full, and I just needed a bit of time away. So I had a bit of time to just recharge the battery, so to speak, and just have just the ladies to concentrate on. And then when joint manager position came up, and I spoke to Goffey down there, who's the gaffer, and he was doing it all by himself, secretary, manager, doing the kits, washing the kits, all the paperwork, and he needed a bit of help. And I've gone down there, I've took Jordan with me as my first team coach here. He plays centre back. I brought a couple of players in that I know. Sam's come with me as well as goalkeeping coach there, so he's doing the two teams. And really good team. The lads have taken to me. I joined back in December, so I've been there about a month now, and we're getting along really well. Me and Goffey work off each other, great. We bounce off any ideas really good. But it's building there. It's been a slow start. We've put some good form together. I think we had the results we wanted, but I can see little bits where I go, that's good, we're doing that, we need to improve on this. And it's a slow progress. We are, I'll be out there, we are in a relegation fight at the minute, but I've come in and brought a few players in, and my knowledge to go with Goffey's and the rest of the team can get us out of that position. We've got some big games coming up, a couple of 6-pointers, as they would say. But lads keep working hard, and they keep improving and listening to what we've got to say and what we need to do. We will get out of it. I believe we will. So we've just got to make sure the lads go and put it on the pitch and go and deliver.
I remember when you were at Wondervault, which is perhaps an unusual name for people who aren't associated with West Midlands football, and we had a little chat after the game at the Hadley Stadium in Smethwick, and we talked about your career to date. That was 2-3 years ago now. Time flies, doesn't it?
3, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Would you say in that 3 years that you've come on a lot in terms of your own understanding of football and coaching and your own personal development?
Oh, 100%, 1,000,000%. From where I was there to where I am now, I think it's completely changed how I look at things differently and how I analyse things and how we work place. Obviously, men's and ladies game, I've got how I come across to the lads and to the ladies. Sometimes the same, sometimes a bit different. What I need to do, speaking to players individually, it is different, and it's a completely different atmosphere. You know, I enjoy both, I really do. And some people say, how can you flip from one to the other? But because I'm so used to it, it's just natural now. It's not second nature. So it's one of them. You know, like I said, I've worked at a few teams since Wondervolt, and it's been a while. But it's always been a step up from one to the next, and that's what I want to keep doing. You know, and hopefully bring the ladies up through the leagues and move up through the men's ladder as well. So it's sort of slow progress. Like I said, a lot of dedicated hours and time and stressful moments. Let's put it that way. But it's getting there. Like I said, I'm on that journey, and whether it takes 10 years or 20 years, it's something that I want to do. And if I look back in say 30 years when I'm 50, and I go, what if I'd done that? If I'd done it, obviously I've done it again the best I could, and if I got to there, that's the best I could have achieved.
We started our chat mentioning TNS Ladies, and we're going to end it that way as well. We last had an interview following the Shropshire Cup game against Bishop's Castle Town women. That was an emphatic 18-0 victory for the New Saints. There was no game last weekend though. That should have been against Sporting Calcer, but of course the rain came in. It was a waterlogged pitch. In the meantime, other teams have played, so the New Saints ladies were second behind Wolves when we last spoke, but now it's a fourth place. But this coming Sunday, a massive game against Bedworth.
It is a massive game. You know, we played them a couple of games about how many games was it? Fourth game in, I think. Fourth game in, and we played them at Morder, and we were very good that day. We won 4-2. We got a good 3 points. That was the week we beat Calcer, Wolves and Bedworth in a week, and you know it's still a very good week of this season. I mean, we've still got to keep progressing. We've still got to keep working on because nothing's granted. But Bedworth since then have gone on a very, very good run. You know, they've been beating teams. They played Lincoln the weekend and they beat them 4-1. And Lincoln are another team up there pushing everyone else, and like this little pack that's starting to emerge. So that's a very good performance. So I'm expecting a very good game there. I think it'll be a highly competitive like it was last year. Last year was, you know, I didn't have a keeper. So I had an outfield player in goal, and Caitlin, and she had a worldie, to be fair to her. Really, really good. So I know the girls are up for it. I know they are up for it for the rest of the season now. You know, there's a big opportunity in there. Same for the rest of the teams in this same position as us. But we've got to go and take the chance. I know we've got the game in hand. So if we can go and do the business on Sunday and get the right result for us, you know, if we'll then go back up to second with a game in hand on the teams around us, which could help us. But, you know, there's no easy games at any stage of football. You have to earn the right, you've got to go and earn the result. So if we do that, then we'll look very good at the end of the season.
And if anybody's watching this video prior to February the 9th, which is when the game is, get yourself down to the Oval, 2 PM kickoff, and support TNS Ladies.
Yeah, more the merrier. Let's get the crowd down.